Clearing past hurts. It's important to let go of the past and recreate in order to have the life that you want. Life is a series of experiences, plain and simple. We tend to judge and label our experiences as positive or negative. Some experiences make us feel loved, appreciated, supported, and capable. These we label as good. Those experiences we label as bad can fill us with shame, fear, anger, envy, and dread, and leave us feeling depleted, defeated, abandoned, unloved, unworthy, or alone. Rather than let go of negative experiences, we often feel uncomfortable with those emotions that come with negative experiences and tend to distract ourselves or bury our pain. Buried pain has a way of showing up when we least expect it. Let's explore how we can avoid making these mistakes of dismissing our feelings that are important and deal with negative experiences, work through residual emotions, and put our past hurts to rest in order to create the life that we want in the here and now and plant the seed for what we want to manifest in the future. When our life is good and we're feeling good, we're really firing at all cylinders. We make good choices for ourselves, eat well, exercise, we feel happier on the inside, and we manage our relationships and commitments easier. Most of us can navigate the good times without any trouble. But when the going gets tough, life can quickly dissolve into a whole different story, and we tend to worry, stress out, feel heavy and worn down by life. Numbing behaviors. When we find ourselves in rough waters, experiencing unpleasant emotions, we sometimes seek relief through numbing behaviors. Numbing behaviors come in all different shapes and forms, from overworking to overeating, oversleeping, to overimbibing in mind-altering substances like alcohol or drugs, or reaching for distractions like pornography, video games, or binge watching on TV or other distractions. Some people turn to obsessive shopping, gambling, or over-socializing to distract and suppress unpleasant feelings as they arise. These are not accurate solutions, as many times you're just pushing aside feelings for another day for them to pop up. Avoiding negative emotions. Emotions, both positive and negative ones, come on strong. Sonnets and love songs endlessly attempt to describe the euphoria of falling in love. People speak of beaming with pride as they watch their child hit a home run or graduate from college. We're all familiar with the flood of positive emotions and sensations when we feel that we've received good news, like a promotion, a raise, or a new and exciting opportunity in a relationship, or other opportunity in life that pops up. On the other hand, we've also had bad news. And when that stuff shows up, it feels like a punch to the gut. We've heard people being frozen in time where they feel frozen with fear, or they tend to burn with rage when somebody offends them or something doesn't go the way that they hoped for. And we're familiar with unkind words of a friend or family member hitting us like a ton of bricks. Positive and negative emotions hit us both emotionally and physically the moment they show up. These feelings can be powerful and overwhelming. And when an experience and its accompanying emotions are negative and painful, sometimes we just don't feel like we have the courage to face them, and we try to sidestep experiencing our feelings. Instead, we learn to avoid, deny, we bury and ignore them. We engage in all manners of self-distraction as a means to avoiding negative emotions because they just don't feel good. We feel threatened when we're uncomfortable and unwilling to sit with negative emotions. We may think that we're taking care of ourselves by keeping the bad feelings at bay, but even our distractions can't keep us from eventually replaying negative experiences in our mind. And then we catastrophize events to a point where we spiral into worry, dread, a state of anxiety, self-doubt, and we find ourselves in a state of despair and dread. It's here that we choose to numb our feelings, then face them, arriving at a place of negativity. Numbing may provide some temporary relief, but it's neither sustainable nor does it clear away the residual effects of negative experiences from the past. We need to process things, see why they're lingering around, and what we need to really learn and grow and how to change. Prolonged numbing can leave us broke, addicted, detached, and distanced from the people that we really care about. We become lost and confused about life, our direction, our capabilities. Self-doubt grows, and we lose connection and self-esteem. This can lead us to places in our life where we settle for less, and we limit our potential and fulfillment for happiness. Emotional debris. A lifetime of numbing our negative feelings and suppressing rather than processing our past hurts can leave us with something I call emotional debris, emotional memory about past hurts that kind of linger around in today and affect our day-to-day living. The more emotional debris we carry from the past, the more vulnerable we are in the present for triggers, as well as feeling heavy by carrying things from the past that no longer serve us. As a clinical psychologist, I work with many patients who struggle with past hurts and negative memories that resurface over and over, especially when they are dealing with a challenging situation in their life, or they're stressed out, or they feel overwhelmed with so many tasks in their present. When we are overwhelmed, we're susceptible to stressful events and also triggers from the past popping up. We don't often have time to deal with them, so we push them aside. I call these painful memories emotional debris again, and they're pervasive. They keep showing up. A metaphor I like to hold on to is when farmers clear the land in September after, all the crops have been cleaned up and sorted out and sold. Next spring, we have, this clean land, and somehow from September to spring, these big boulders pop up from the deeps of our earth and push up to the surface of our farmland. And then the farmers have to go back and clean these boulders each spring before planting a new crop. That's the same thing with us. We can clean layers in therapy and work through things in the moment when they're happening. But sometimes years later, little unfinished business or emotional debris gets pushed up to the surface again in a new situation. And we just need to clear it. Just like the farmers do with their boulders, we need to clean up our own emotional boulders. If we don't, they keep showing up, they keep making us feel heavy, and they stand in the way of us being able to plant new seeds for the life that we want to manifest and have. Clearing and healing. Emotional debris is our unfinished business and unprocessed pain. As long as we hold on to emotional debris, we are at risk of repeatedly reliving past hurts in different ways, but we relive them. When we neglect to rid ourselves of them, you'll find that, similar situations just keep resurfacing. You keep meeting people that trigger the same feelings out of you: helplessness, worthlessness, defensiveness, feeling hurt, feeling taken for granted, taken advantage of, feeling like a victim, not feeling heard, and the list goes on. Especially when we're vulnerable or stressed out or overwhelmed with life tasks, we will find more emotional debris and boulders popping up. We need to clear and process our life, be present for it, in order to make way for growth and happiness and sustained health. We can begin by deciding to clear our emotional debris, then pushing things aside and avoiding them. We need to sit with our negative emotions and give ourselves permission and time to allow ourselves to acknowledge the feelings that we felt in the past that didn't feel good. Give ourselves time to examine who we are, who we blame, our role in what has gone wrong in our past, including how we personalize things and how we may have played a role in a painful, difficult situation. We need to sit with uncomfortable emotions about ourselves and others, and labels that we put on ourselves and others. Many times we worry about people judging us, but we're often also very judgmental of ourselves. Forgiving ourselves is important, and then forgiving others. As everybody is perfect and a work in progress, we're all trying to do the best we can with what we have, And many times we don't always have the tools to make always the best decisions when we need to. It is important for us to look at painful experiences and recognize that suffering is a catalyst for change. By sitting with uncomfortable emotions, forgiving and seeing things, by having time to pause and reflect on them, you can see how you've grown, what you've learned, and how you've evolved over time. And the most difficult experiences you've had has also shown you your strength, your capabilities, your wisdom, and given you the vision for a better day. Becoming unstuck. Once we process our pain, we start working on being unstuck. We will still have memories of things that were difficult, but the memories will hold less weight as the emotional debris and the emotions that come with it feel lighter, feel better able to be managed. And the effect will no longer be as intense or bothersome like you're reliving it again in the here and now. Instead, you can really see something in the past, really just in the past, and you can see how far you've grown from that. We can then begin to see the lessons of our negative experiences and what they've taught us. We can acknowledge how far we've come, how much we've endured, but how much we've learned and grown. We can then choose to put our past hurts where they belong, so they no longer hurt us, just in the past. When we sit with our negative emotions, we create opportunities to heal, clear, process, and evolve. Then we allow ourselves to create a better future. Pause and reflect in the here and now. Let's take this mindful moment. Reflect a little bit on your coping. What do you do when things pop up and you're overwhelmed? Do you push things aside? Do you comfort eat? Do you avoid? Do you emotionally vomit on friends? What are the ways you cope? Are they helpful? Are they helping? Are you processing things or just pushing things aside for another day? Let's take a mindful moment to reflect on some of the points I've mentioned, and then I'll bring you back. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in and breathe out. Allow yourself to follow with your breath and just reflect on past hurts and how you clear them, what you do with them. And are they all healthy habits or unhealthy ones too? As I welcome you back from this mindful moment, we've been reflecting on clearing emotional debris, emotional memory of things that were painful or difficult in the past that somehow keep popping up. By cleaning and clearing this emotional debris that we carry from past hurts and allowing ourselves to feel and process negative emotions, you make way for a happier future by processing things today in the here and now. How do we start this? By deciding to let go of past hurts. Pause and reflect to stay with things rather than numb your emotions or distract yourself. Sit with negative emotions around painful memories. Bring in supports and resources if you need to. Therapy is a great place to sit there and not only acknowledge what you've gone through, discuss it, process it, and feel supported in a nurturing way. Acknowledge the part that you may have played in a negative situation. Forgive and release yourself from not only others that you blame for past hurts, but also from yourself. Forgive yourself for holding on to things that no longer serve you, or not getting the resources and the help you need to work through the painful experiences to allow you to move past them. Bring in self-care and resources if you need it, and get the help you need from others in support, resources, kindness, and just love and nurturance as you heal and work through whatever no longer serves you.